nakuta tuna watu
Amesema
wewe sasa.
ndo some tuka encyclopedia. Unasikia? Have you guys submitted? Kuna wale hawaja submit. Kindly go finish kwa sababu kazi yenu inasema So we look at that particular question that we have done. So you look at the question that we have done. Mhm. So you look at that question. The question was asking, Pareto Limited intends to manufacture either product P or product Q. The following information relates to the two products. We have the selling price per unit for P and Q, variable manufacturing cost per unit, fixed manufacturing cost, selling and administration cost. We have fixed and variable. Then we have units produced and units sold. Using the marginal costing technique, determine the profit and loss. That was the question that was given. So I hope tunazaona. So in that particular question, marginal costing statement nimesema we start with the value for sale. The value for sales. And so Daisy has done well, Daisy, I've seen your work. Nafanya nini sasa? Hmm. Wilson, have you done the work? Hali ilikuwa ngumu. And the question was so simple. So if you look at the question, I'm going to explain. So kwa hiyo swali, we studied the marginal costing statement. So marginal costing statement inaanza na sales revenue. Sales revenue tumesema there, revenue is what? Selling price by any time the number of units produced and sold. So we start with sales revenue. So value for sales, ukiangalia product P, it will be 40. That is selling price by any time the number of units sold, which is 38,000. Unapata 1,520,000. That's what you get. That is the sales revenue. Check the selling price per unit times the number of units sold. So it is 40 times 38,000. So utaandika mahali, the answer should be 1,520. Then we less the variable manufacturing cost. Variable manufacturing cost hapa tumepewa per unit is 16. The number of units produced is 40. So 16 by 40 gives you 640,000. Then we left the closing stock. Remember, we sold how many units? We sold 38,000 units. Yeah, together. We produced 40,000 and we sold 38,000, meaning what is remaining is 2,000. That is our closing stock. So we are valuing the closing stock, the variable cost per unit. And remember, the variable cost per unit was 16. So you take 2,000 times 16, giving you 32. So we subtract, we get the variable manufacturing cost of goods sold is 608,000. Then we add the variable selling and administration expenses, anything variable. So the variable selling and administration expenses from what we have is 8 times what? 38,000, because that was selling, which 304,000. Up to now, 304,000. So ukichukua variable manufacturing cost plus variable selling, utapata total is 912,000. That is our total variable cost of goods sold. So you take our sales revenue less the total variable cost of goods sold, we get the contribution as 608,000. Then from the contribution now, we go ahead and less any fixed cost, whether manufacturing or selling and administration cost. So the fixed cost here we have manufacturing. The fixed manufacturing cost for product B is 40,000. Then you have the selling cost, which is 20,000. So meaning our total fixed cost here is 60,000. So we take 608,000 minus 60, you get a profit of 548,000. That's what you're supposed to do under marginal costing. Take the sales less the variable costs. If we take the sales less the variable costs, we get what to call the contribution. Now, from the contribution, we less now what to call the fixed cost. So fixed cost is made up of either manufacturing and the non-manufacturing costs. So our profit should be 508,000. Kuna wale hawakujaribu but kwa wale walijaribu baraka mingi sana. So kama uko na swali you ask. A marginal costing statement is just a profit statement. Yafaa ukuwe na format sales less variable manufacturing cost or less variable cost of production. Then from unapata contribution. Okay, less the variable cost, you get the contribution. From the contribution, you will less what you call the fixed costs. Then you get what you call the profit. Nimesema from that question, I'm looking at that question. The first question nimesema, the question was hope all of us can see. Hata kama inasumbua kidogo. So Pareto Limited intends to manufacture either product P or product Q. The following information relates to two products. I'm just looking at an example product P. How do you come up with the marginal costing statement? So you should have a heading, marginal costing statement. Marginal costing what? Statement. That's your heading. So we start with the sales revenue. From our question, under marginal costing, the first thing that starts is sales revenue. How do you get sales revenue? We take what? Sales revenue is P, selling price per unit, times quantity, times Q. That's our sales revenue. So from the question, our selling price per unit for product P is 40. The number of units sold is 38,000. So how much revenue did this particular firm or how much revenue will this particular firm make by producing and selling product P? Take the selling price per unit, times the number of units sold. Unapata 20,000. Then from the sales revenue, we less any variable costs. So the variable cost we have as soon as opening stock. So we add variable manufacturing costs. So the variable manufacturing cost, we look at the production. Per unit tumepewa pale ni 16. The number of units produced is 40,000. So 16 by 40 gives you 640,000. Then from the variable manufacturing cost, we left the closing stock if any. We realize that in our equation tuko na closing stock kwa sababu the units produced were 40, units sold were 38. So we have stock that is remaining, which is what? 2,000. We are valuing the closing stock at the variable cost per unit, which is 16. So we take the number of units that were remaining, which is our closing stock, multiplied by 16 to get 32,000. So we subtract unapata the variable manufacturing cost of goods sold, which is 608,000, add variable selling and administration costs. So the variable selling and administration cost, hapo kwa swali kuna selling and administrative cost. Variable cost per unit is 8 shillings. The number of units produced is the number of units sold is 38. So you take 8 times 38, unapata 304,000. If you add together, our total variable cost of goods sold will give you 912. 6,000. So take our sales revenue less the total variable cost of goods sold, which is 912, to get a contribution of 608. So nimesema sales revenue less total variable cost, we get what we call contribution. Then from the contribution less the fixed cost. So fixed cost, first one tulikuwa na fixed manufacturing ilikuwa 40,000. Then fixed selling and administrative cost was 20,000. So our total fixed cost is 60. So for you to get the profit, take the contribution less the fixed cost to get what? A profit of 548,000. I think I'm clear. So for product P, for product Q, for product Q, if you look at product Q, if you always start with the heading, marginal costing statement for product Q, we start with the sales revenue. Our sales revenue take sales as we take the selling price per unit times the number of units sold. So our selling price per unit for product Q is 50. The number of units sold is 65. So 50 by 65 gives you 250,000 less any variable cost. So we have variable manufacturing, which is we take variable manufacturing is 20, and the number of units that were manufactured, which is 70,000. Let's closing stock. Remember, from our product Q, the number of units produced was 70. We only sold 65. So meaning our remaining units in store is 5,000. That's what we call our closing stock. So we value the 5,000 at the variable manufacturing cost. So the variable manufacturing cost per unit is 20. So we take 5,000 times 20, giving us 100,000. We subtract, we get 1.3 million as a variable manufacturing cost of goods sold. Or the variable selling and administration cost. The variable selling and administration cost, we had 10,000 per unit times the number of units sold, which is 65,000, giving you 650. So our total variable cost of goods sold is 1950,000. So we take our sales revenue less the variable cost of goods sold. It gives you a contribution of 1.3 million. Go ahead and less the fixed cost. So we had fixed manufacturing, which is 60, fixed selling, which is 30, which is a total of 90,000. So 1.3 million minus 90,000 gives you 1210. 5,000. That is our profit for the day. So you compare the profit for product P and Q, you realize that Q has more profit as compared to Q. So the firm should manufacture product Q because it has a high profit of 12,000. So kuna swali lingine 5,000. Sorry for that one. I will go back. Closing stock. What is closing stock? Closing stock inamaanisha the number of units that have remained zenye zimebaki. So from the question yenye uko nayo, from that particular question that you have, the units produced was 70,000, but we only sold 65. We are looking at product Q. We produced 70, we sold 65. Ni ngapi inabaki? 70 minus 65, we remain with how much? 5,000. That is where we get our 5,000 as closing stock. The unit that has not been sold but have remained in store for the next period. Oh, all as you have gotten me. I just kuna swali ingine. So kama hakuna swali, we can end our class. So make sure you get those. I'm hoping that tumeandika chini the answers to those particular questions. And I can just call a class an end.